Good afternoon, one and all. A warm welcome to you all to today's workshop. On behalf of management, principal, staff and students of Vignan Pharmacy College, I, Dr. P. Saujanya, feel immensely happy to welcome you all to today's workshop on design thinking, critical thinking and innovation design, presented by Dr. Sorry, sir. Sorry for the disturbance. So the workshop is presented by Dr. Prabhat K. Dwivedi, Associate Professor, Marketing and Entrepreneurship, Department of Business Management, CSJM University, Kanpur. I truly express my gratitude to you for accepting our invitation and taking your precious time for joining us today, sir. Thank you so much. And I wholeheartedly welcome all the delegates for this workshop who have been joined in a Zoom platform and who are also watching in YouTube Live. Thank you all for joining us today. And now I am honored to invite our principal, Dr. P. Srinivas Babu Garu, for his introductory remarks. Over to you, sir. Principal, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, madam. Thank you. And I congratulate the organizing secretary, Dr. P. Saujanya, for making today's webinar on workshop on design thinking, critical thinking and innovation design, which is a very useful topic for all the students and faculty, because this is a very important thing. And that too, for this workshop, I'm very happy to invite Dr. Prabhat K. Dwivedi Garu, Associate Professor, Marketing and Entrepreneurship, Department of Business Management and CSJM University, Kanpur. Sir is having a very good awards and medals on this Department of Business, because he is having almost 17 years experience on both teaching as well as industry, and has got various awards in Best Paper Award, Highly Commend Award, and gold medals, 3 gold medals, NPTEL Star and NPTEL Domain Scholar Award. So especially various research collaborations SAR is involved, and various publications. So by seeing his time and valuable time he's spending with our students and faculty as a resource person, we are very thankful, sir. Thankful to you, and also on behalf of Vignan Pharmacy College, we invite you for a grand this webinar, and we want to associate with you in the future collaborations also. So I Dr. Srinivas Babu, I'm very happy because I am unable to interact with you, because as our organizing secretary and all our team members has interacted. So on behalf of our college, we invite you personally whenever the time permits, through offline also, and to interact with all our students and faculty. I'm very thankful to you, sir, and thank you very much. And over to Dr. Saujanya.
Thank you, sir. I feel it great honor to introduce today's speaker, Prabhat Kumar Dwivedi garu. He is currently working as Associate Professor in Department of Business Management, CSJM University, Kanpur. Sir has received various awards and medals and appreciations like Best Paper Award in AMA conference held in Chicago, USA, and highly commended award in 8th IRSSM in 2017 in Seoul, 3 gold medals and 2 silver medals for becoming topper in subjects of marketing domain from IITs, and NPTEL star in 2019 by IIT Bangalore, NPTEL Domain Scholar Award in 2021, and Certificate of Appreciation from Sage Publication for the quality reviews. And he is a member of All India Management Association, New Delhi, Kanpur Management Association, Kanpur. Sir has collaborated with 7 to 8 foreign professors and 7 to 8 professors from IIMs and IITs to do true global research. And he published around 50 research papers in international and national journals, and 1 book with a national publisher, 2 case studies with IIM Calcutta Case Research Center, 4 research papers, 2 case studies, and 1 book in pipeline. And he is a member of an editorial board of several national reputed journals and reviewer of American Marketing Association and reviewer for Emerald's European Journal Marketing and reviewer for Sage Asian Journal of Management Cases since 2019. And he delivered various keynote addresses in 4 international and 37 national conferences. And he conducted around 10 conferences and 4 training programs. And he presented papers in 16 international conferences and 25 national conferences. And he developed e-learning delivery process or material and new course curricula. And he created YouTube channel Management Learners for online learning of MBA students, and created 5 new courses in management for PGDM students. And he took consultants, he completed consultancy projects in business and management of around 8 consultancy projects he completed. So with this brief introduction, I request Dr. Prabhat K. Dwivedi garu to start his session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. At the outset, I would like to just greet with my words principal and convener of this workshop, principal of Vigyan Pharmacy College, Professor P. Srinivas Babu, co-convener Mr. A. Vishwanathan, and organizing secretary Professor Saujanya Madam, and rest of other organizing committee members, all the faculty members of this college and all other colleges participating in this, and dear students. First of all, I would like to congratulate this college for having a workshop on such a novel and contemporary topic, that is design thinking, critical thinking, and innovation design. In fact, this is need of hour that nowadays our students start learning the way the design thinking allows. They have to think, have to start thinking the way design thinking allows, so that innovations can take place at the organizational and institutional level. So for that, I mean, for choosing such a nice topic, this college, organizing secretary madam, convener sir, all deserve congratulations. That's why I just congratulate them. Well, so far as design thinking as a subject is concerned, many universities recently have adopted this particular subject in their course curriculums for management, for BTech, for pharma degrees and diplomas. This kind of start has this kind of initiation has been seen in various institutions and universities in recent days. That means I would say this is very happy moment for all of us that we are moving towards design thinking kind of subject, so that we can proceed towards the Make in India project, Startup India project, started by our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. So this is in line with that only. So what actually design thinking is? This is a kind of collective thinking. And this collective thinking is not new to our country. In fact, maybe as a subject we are reading, we are going to understand, we are read it in a new way, but it has never been new to our country. Because
excuse me, sir, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
You can share your PowerPoint.
Yeah. I'm going to share. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah. I'm just going to, in a short moment, I'm going to share with you the PPT. So as we all have heard about shloka of Rig Veda, Sangat Shabdam, Samvadadham, Samvo Manasi Janatam, Deva Bhagam Metha Purve, Sajjanana Upasate. That means we have to start, moving together for a common goal. We have to think alike for achieving a common goal, and we have to speak in one voice and rest apart. So that is what our country's culture has been. So design thinking is nothing else but, a kind of culture of collective learning. So now I'm going to share with you my PPT. So is it visible to you all? Is it visible, ma'am? My PPT is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So this is the topic, that is design thinking and innovation. After setting up the agenda of my talk, I'll be discussing with you critical thinking, design thinking, and innovation. And finally, how design thinking and innovation is helpful for achieving our entrepreneurship and innovation goals. So let's see the first slide here. I would like to quote the Henry Ford's statement once he gave this. He said, if I had asked the public what they wanted as a faster mode of transportation, they would have said a faster horse. See, what does this statement signify? Is that answers are always within a fixed, body of knowledge, what we see, what we perceive, what we hear. We never try to move beyond that. That is what, he says. But Henry Ford went beyond the conventional boundary of learning, visible boundary of learning that was at that time people would have thought a horse, a good horse, a faster horse as a faster mode of conveyance. But he went beyond that and invented a car, Ford car. My slide is moving, madam. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, fine. So this is the car that is made by, Ford Industries. That is the first car of the world, which was Ford Model A, that was launched in 1903. And then the second model was launched in 1907. This was a great revolution that time. So the challenge of 20th century, at the beginning of the 20th century, challenge was a faster mode of transportation. So at that time, Ford conceived the idea to provide. Ford thought the way design thinking is, and the result was the first car of the world. So that was the challenge. Challenge was faster mode of transportation at the beginning of 20th century. Now at the beginning of 21st century, the challenge was actually a cleaner, safer, and faster mode of transportation. So for this time, in the place of Ford, there is Elon Musk, who just went beyond the confined boundary of thinking, confined boundaries of knowledge, and just came to this word, Tesla Roadster. That car was launched in 2009, and that was completely an electric vehicle, EV car. Though before Tesla, some other companies like General Motors has once tried to provide a car which could run on electricity, but that was not that successful. And finally, they failed because that was in hybrid mode, because that was just running for say 70, 60 kilometers on electricity, but for rest of the time, gasoline was required. So this is the first company, Tesla, which launched this car that is completely electric vehicle, and the whole business model was given by Elon Musk. So this was today's challenge of 21st century, which was addressed by Elon Musk. I would like to show you a small video, which is of Tesla's or Elon Musk's company, Boring Company, which showing you the tunnel concept, which has brought the transportation at different level in the United States. What is this tunnel concept? You please just see this video, short video. Is it visible? This video is visible or not? Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Madam, video is visible or not?
Sir, visible.
Okay.
Visible, sir.
Thank you.
But it jumped to first slide. Hello, sir.
Yeah, ma'am.
Sir, continue.
So video is not running on your screen? Hello?
Sir,
Madam?
PowerPoint is visible.
Okay, video is not running on your screen, right? Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me just share this with you. I was thinking that it is running on your screen, but somehow it was not. Yeah. Is it visible now? Ma'am, video is visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. That is what I was asking. Yeah. This is the tunnel. Yeah, so have you seen this video? Hello. So here,
Sir.
yeah, here you have seen how Tesla is trying to solve the traffic problem in the United States. And that is what the design thinking is. This is basically solving the problem, contemporary problem, with new solutions, not with the existing solutions. So trying to solve it with the new. So that is what the concept of design thinking is. Sovinya ma'am, Sovinya ma'am, I'm visible probably. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm audible probably, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now we can see in what phases so far the innovation evolution has taken place. Just try to pay attention on this particular slide. Here we can see that from 1785 to 1845, the iron invention was done. At that time, water power was recognized, machinization, textiles, commerce started between the countries. That was the time. That was known as the first phase of innovation. Then moved from 1845 to 1900, steam engine was invented, and with the help of steam power, a rail network was established across the world. Steel was invented, cotton industry stood upon. Now, that was called second wave of innovation. Then moving ahead, electricity was invented, chemicals, internal combustion engine was invented. Here you can see in 1903, that Ford Motors came with the first car that was internal combustion engine in that it was used. So that was the third wave of innovation. Going ahead was the fourth wave of innovation when petrochemicals, electronics was brought into existence. Aviation industry, conductors were invented. Aviation industry, that means aeroplane was invented. Space exploration started. That was called fourth wave of innovation. Then we just have lived the fifth wave of innovation, wherein internet started, Google, social media, biotechnology, software, hardware technologies, information technologies took place. So that was the time we just left. And that this time, this fifth wave of innovation kicked off the sixth wave of innovation. That is actually the age of robotics. That is the age of robotics, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, then machine learning. These are the terms which we are going to see in these times, Internet of Things. So we are now in this particular sixth wave, wherein the revolution is going to take place with the help of robotics, AI, virtual realities, augmented realities, machine learning, ICT, etc. So now that is all just because of some people of the contemporary time think out of box. They do critical thinking, they do design thinking. That is what is giving the result of next waves of innovations. So what the critical thinking is, now we can see. Critical thinking is nothing else but the careful thinking directed towards a goal for better decision. That is the goal of critical thinking. This is basically kind of analysis of available facts, figures, information, data for making some decisions. So that is what the critical thinking relies on the available facts and data and information. Now, what is the difference between critical thinking and creative thinking? I think you all must have heard about creative thinking term. Could anyone please tell me what the creative thinking is? Yeah, students. Sojanya ma'am. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask questions with some students meantime?
Yes, sir, you can.
Yeah. Can anybody please tell me what the critical thinking is? No one would like to tell, probably. Yeah, someone can chat also.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
Am I audible, sir?
what's up? You are.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, critical thinking means what I think that at first analyze.
My question is creative thinking. What creative thinking is?
Creative thinking is making something big. What I think, making something big that cause you lot of efforts and lot of our labor. That makes a creative labor of our mind. That's
Okay. Actually, see, there is in the scheme, very much in the scheme, what creative thinking is. Creative thinking is basically to be innovative and bringing in some creative ideas about some problem to solve it, right? So that is creative thinking. That goes beyond the existing body of knowledge and beyond the existing data and information what you have. So trying to search out the solution of a particular problem going beyond the existing database and information that you have is a creative thinking. So basically in this slide, you can see that problem solving under the design thinking, system is in the intersection of creative thinking as well as critical thinking. Critical thinking on the one side, critical thinking relies on the existing data and information, whereas creative thinking relies on the finding out the solutions, being creative, being imaginative, being innovative. That is what. So problem solving basically with, in the design thinking settings is that relies on both critical thinking as well as creative thinking just to have improved the solutions of a particular problem. For example, we have recently witnessed COVID, and COVID is still going on. So COVID was absolutely a new problem to this humanity, to this Earth planet. So on one side, we were searching for the searching solutions in the existing domain of knowledge and database. On the other side, we were trying to find out something new which can really solve this problem. So because the existing body of knowledge, medical science solutions were not up to the mark, appropriate, and not exactly were the solution for that particular COVID. So after some times, we came out with some medications, some vaccinations and all. So that was the part of creative thinking. And what were the medications like paracetamol and other symptomatic treatments we were giving? That was result of the critical thinking. And that's how we were solving the problem of COVID. So this is the difference between critical thinking and creative thinking. What actually the design thinking is a culture of solving problems. You can see culture. This is a culture of solving problems, making decisions, forming strategies, learning and designing things. The most important thing is that human-driven approach. So design thinking is in fact the human-driven approach, means keeping the human need, human sentiments, human empathetical values in the center. We are trying to find out the solution for a particular problem. That is what the design thinking is. And this is basically a culture. This is not a tool, I would say. This is a culture. What IDEO organization says, basically, let me introduce IDEO Institute organization with you. This is the organization which actually relies in the, which actually given this particular term, design thinking, for the first time, design thinking term was documented this way. So what Tim Brown of executive chair of IDEO says, design thinking is human-centered approach to innovation. That means the resultant is innovation. Design thinking should or must result into innovation that draws the designer's toolkit, which integrates what? Needs of people, possibilities of technology, and requirements of business success. So this is basically a kind of business model which gives you opportunity to identify in the market, which is intended to solve the problems of people and which can create greater customer value. And of course, a business model should be viable, feasible. So this design thinking basically integrates here. You can see the three things. That is what people want. That means market. What is viable, feasible in the market? That gives you the opportunity. How that opportunity, which meets customers' needs, can be converted into a customer value. That is what. So that is why it is said that it is intersection of the three. That is actually the design thinking, which explores the market opportunity. And that is what we do in the design thinking. So basically, in the forthcoming slides, you would come to know that when I will be discussing design thinking process, that critical thinking and design thinking are actually part of critical thinking and creative thinking are actually part of every stage of design thinking process. Essentially, we can say that effective design thinking cannot take place in the absence of creative thinking and critical thinking. And as I told you already, that innovation is actually a sweet fruit of design thinking, resultant of design thinking. So now till this point, I have made it clear to you that design thinking involves both critical thinking and creative thinking. Critical thinking relies on the existing database knowledge information, whereas creative thinking relies on the imaginations and finding out new solutions. And all this exercise results into innovation. This is till now I have discussed with you. Now, what actually Tim Brown thinks about design thinking and role of design thinking in circular economy, let me show you a small video. Is it visible to you? Please let me know. Can you listen?
Sir, the video is visible, no audio, sir.
Audio is not there?
Yes, sir.
Now it is there or not? Audio is there now or not?
No, sir. Video is visible.
Okay. Let me check where video is. On my side, it is all. So you can't listen what Tim is speaking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, then I would like to skip it. No issues. No issues. I am not finding out how to fix this problem. Can anybody help me? Audio.
How audio can be? I mean, from my side, I can't find out any issue. Nobody can listen to. It's not audible to anyone. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible,
No,
sir.
No. We
No,
can't listen.
this video's audio is all reaching you or not?
No, not reaching, sir.
It's not reaching. Okay. Audible? Audible?
No, sir. No.
Hello?
No, sir. You can listen. We can't listen.
Sojanna, ma'am,
Yes, sir.
it's not audible?
Not
No.
audible, sir.
Hello?
Not audible,
sir.
sir.
No,
Only
not audible,
video.
sir.
Video is visible.
We can see video. We can hear nothing.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
So it is not audible, then I'm skipping it. Fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we have come to know what design thinking is. Now let's understand what the design thinking process is. So process is in front of you. This you can see. This process comprises of actually 5 steps: empathize, reframe, ideate, prototype, and test. Now the picture in front of you is showing divergent approach, convergent approach for, and then again divergent approach, then again convergent approach. That means in the problem space, which is this problem space, there are 2 steps: empathize, reframe. During empathizing, you diverge. Diverge means you are quite open up to receive what are actually the problems of people, problems of consumers, what they are troubled for, and how you can solve those problems. You will be thinking later on. First of all, at the stage of empathizing, you are just bothered about what are the pain points actually. What are the sufferings? So during the empathy, you may prefer to sketch an empathy map. Empathy map is nothing else but to identify the pain points of the people, what are the problems they are facing, and how serious, how grave those problems are, and what kind of fears and weaknesses are with those people. And for identifying pain points, you have to keep your sensory organs quite on. You have to see, observe, you have to think, you have to feel, you have to talk to them, you have to hear them. And once you find out the pain points of the people, then you can really find out the better solutions of those people. So pain points can really be gain points for your organization, for your institute, once you really are successful in finding out the pain points. So for empathy stage of the design thinking, you can really prefer to make an empathy map wherein you can note down everything, whatever you record during the stage of empathizing. So that is what the divergent process is known as. You are quite much open to everything. That is, now after registering and recording the people's pains and problems, you basically try to frame the problem. Now, because you might have talked to hundreds of people, 20s, 30s, 50s of people to truly understanding the problem. Now, many people might have spoken in different words, might have told you their problems, different ways. So now this is your turn to sit in your chamber with your team and try to basically formulate what the problem actually is. Just like, for an example, you have been talking to people who are regularly on medications, maybe facing BP problem or hypertension or something like that, you might have listened to them. They might have said that, yeah, I have to go to doctor every day or every alternate day to get my BP checked. And for that, I may have to travel to 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers, something like that. So, because at that time you didn't actually have the solution to their problems, because if they really wanted to, patients really wanted to get their BP checked, they would have to move to the doctor's cabins for it, and they would have to find out nearby clinics. So because the stethoscope, the BP monitor available that time was this kind of, which you can see here in the picture, that was not so easy. Everybody cannot, layman cannot just, record or understand his BP. So for that, basically, once you talk to those patients, maybe 50, maybe 100, and after that, you might have designed this kind of problem statement. What is that? How can we design a BP monitor that patients can themselves use easily and record their BP? So that kind of a statement we can make after empathizing. Then in the second stage of reframing, we can reframe the problem statement like this. So is it clear to you all? Please, someone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, this was just a problem space. This was just a design challenge now to find out a solution for this particular problem. So now our target is to move from design challenge to a design solution. And now we are talking about the solution space. Solution space basically comprises of 3 steps. So third step here of the solution space, first step of the solution space here is ideate. Now, after preparing the problem statement, we have to ideate for the possible solutions. So this is the third step of the design thinking process, that is ideating for new solutions. And this is nothing else but the brainstorming. What do we actually do during the brainstorming stage? Design team sits together. Let me tell you what the design team is basically. Generally what we do, we prefer to keep those members in our team who are like-minded. So Janna ma'am, isn't it so? We always prefer to make team of like-minded people.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
You are
We
right.
actually prefer. We don't want any kind of contradictions or any kind of disagreement. We are not at all ready. But what actually a design team is, design team never relies on this kind of notion. Design team is a team of divergent domains people from divergent domains. Like if in your pharmacy college, you are going to make a design team, it must not comprise of all the members who are from the pharmacy domain. You must have some who are computer savvy, who are IT experts. You must have some people from management domain, because marketing and business model kind of things will be developed by those marketing and or management people. You must have some biology or microbiology people. You may have some even chemistry people. So like in design team, you must rely on the people from divergent domains. So here, that old concept of people keeping the like-minded people in a team is absolutely ruled out. You have to rely on the divergent people. And so at the stage of brainstorming, one basic idea is that brainstorming is to welcome every single idea. And no idea is a wild idea. No idea is a stupid idea. So whenever you sit for a brainstorming, you be ready to welcome every stupid idea. Because no idea is a stupid idea. Because whatever idea you feel like is stupid, that may really be breakthrough. That may really be a brilliant idea, actually. So never ever, this is the principle of brainstorming. We should never laugh at anybody who is giving us wild ideas. Let all the wild ideas come from all these sides. That is what the principle of design thinking is. So during this stage, third stage, that is ideation, we have to record this session. We have to set the camera, video camera, recording should be there, and let the brainstorming take place. Let the ideas come. And after recording the ideas, we move to the next stage. We basically, after recording plenty of ideas, we do what? Filtering of ideas, a kind of funnel system. Like ideas are there here, plenty of ideas, but no workable ideas, maybe 1, 2, or 3. So this kind of funnel, out of the funnel, you get 1 or 2 or 3 workable ideas. For those workable ideas or feasible ideas, we basically do prototyping. This is the fourth step of the design thinking process. During the prototyping, what we do, now like what was the problem there with the stethoscope? That was technical stethoscope. Common people cannot understand that, cannot measure their BP with that. So now you have come up with such kind of prototype. And maybe you have made this kind of prototype, and then after preparing a prototype, you need to test the prototype. Nowadays, in prototyping, what happens, we have 3D printers, we have metal tinkering labs nowadays, even in the school levels we have, and much work is being done by the government in this direction. It is being tried to give at least one tinkering lab to even a small towns as well. So tinkering labs, subtle tinkering labs, maybe they are 3D printers, maybe they are in your colleges. There you can prepare your 3D prototype after 3D printing. So like during the prototype stage, what we do, we just make a design. We just make a design of a prototype. After making the design, we test it. We choose several people to whom we can give that particular product to use. And after several days, we can ask them about the feedback. And based on their feedback, we can just refine our prototype once again. And then the new design is being prepared. And again, this is put for testing. This is a kind of cyclical process. Iteration is being done during the prototyping and testing stage. So that's what is being shown over here. Now, a small video is there, which even if audio is not there, you can watch. It is interesting video of prototyping. So let me share with you this. It's not playing.
No, sir, no.
It's not playing. Yeah.
Not working.
Okay. It's not playing. Probably it's doing some issue. Okay. Let me show.
Sir, now you can share only video. Then
Yeah,
audio
that-
will also be.
That is what I'm going to do actually. Yeah. That is what. Just wait a few seconds, please. Okay, ma'am, it's not, I'm unable to play this. Hello.
Sir, you stop sharing PowerPoint, then open the video and then share video.
That is what I'm trying to do actually, but still. Stop sharing, okay. I'm not getting the option of stop sharing. Okay, ma'am, leave it. Leave it. It's taking too long. Leave it, please. Okay. Okay. So fine. During the prototyping and testing stage, it may require 2-3 kinds of times iteration to get a perfect prototype, and after testing it, finally you reach to the next step, that is mass marketing. That is what you do basically. Yeah, visible. Screen is visible to you all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So now this is the next and last step. That is the mass marketing. After testing, what you do, that has not been shown here in the process page here. This is after testing, prototyping and testing, you go for mass marketing, but that is not your part. That is not included in the design thinking process. After marketing, after scaling up the product, manufacturing, that is a different issue that is being done. So no issues at all. Now, let us understand, after understanding this particular design thinking process, here you can see design thinking is nothing else but it integrates actually what people feel with the problem and what a user-centric solution can be offered after observation and conversations with those people who are facing actually problem. So here we have to be, as a design thinker, as a design thinking team, we have to keep observing the problem on those customers or on those people who are facing that problem. We have to be empathetic, and we have to then ultimately find out a solution which is basically user-centric. So now here we are moving on to the next phase of our discussion, that is innovation. Now question is what actually the innovation is. as I told you already, that innovation is fruit of design thinking, critical thinking, creative thinking, etc. So innovation basically occurs where a market intersects with technology and business models. That is what the innovation is. And that is where the available technology, just like in today's technologies, we have to rely on. If we are really trying to solve today's problem, we can really not rely on the yesterday's technologies or yesterday's concepts. The real problem is not, the problem actually, but this is actually the trying to solve that particular problem with yesterday's tools and techniques and methods. That is what we need not to do actually. So design thinking will really, motivate you to solve today's problems with today's and tomorrow's possible solutions and tools and techniques. So here, basically innovation is a fruit which is in the intersection of technology, intersection of market, and intersection of business model, that is industry. So if you have found out a solution to a problem which is prevailing in the society, come on, just talk to some incubation centers, go to the people in incubation center, maybe in your, that is also available in your institute, that may be in nearby IITs, IIMs, or some other institutes. Go, rush to those people, talk to them, and tell them that this is the problem actually, and I have real solution for this particular problem. Then they will really integrate all the stakeholders with you, and with your idea, they can really develop a business model, viable business model, which ultimately, give, while solving the problem of society, will benefit you with your incubators, incubative, with all other stakeholders, including your venture capitalists or investors or whatsoever stakeholders you have. So I call upon these students who are participating in this workshop that all the time we are continuously having some or the other ideas. It is said that we generate, our mind really continuously generate plenty of ideas, but actually we let all those ideas die. We don't do anything with those ideas. And some of us may be little bit, curious to solve some problem with those ideas, but after sometimes they may lose some interest. So they just keep becoming kind of, daydreamer, nothing more than that. So I would request all the students community and faculty community to interact on continuous basis with each other. Faculty should work as a mentor to those students who generate ideas. The students is, the resource which we, hello, is anybody is asking? Is any query?
No, sir. Continue, sir.
Okay. So we have to have this kind of ecosystem and environment in our colleges level, wherein students and we faculty members interact on ongoing basis, sit together every day. Let's say for 1 hour or 2 hours, we should have 1 hour at least in our timetable for this particular design thinking sessions, wherein mentor-mentee program can be run. 4, 5, 10 students can be allotted. Principals are listening. Saujanya ma'am is listening. So I would request you can do this kind of system if it is not there in your institute now. Mentor-mentee program only on design thinking should be started, and there we can have ongoing discussions every day on this particular design thinking. And ideation, observing problems in the society, trying to solve those problems. So in this intersection, we could definitely have some kind of innovative ideas and solutions, and that we really prepare a business model on those ideas. That is what the role of incubation center is there in the colleges. So I think this will really give birth of so many innovations in our institutes and colleges. For that, we can then go for patents and all those, IPR kind of systems. And ultimately, you will be benefited, society will be benefited, and country and your college will be benefited. So that is where the innovation is. So now let's understand what the innovation is. Joseph Schumpeter is actually called godfather of innovation. And of course, he is also called prophet of creative destruction. He actually wrote this kind of book as well. Creative destruction is nothing else. This is what the two, contradictory terms are there. Creative destruction. But yes, that is destruction is there for creativity, for creating new things. Many companies, kill their existing product just to welcome the new one, better product. So that is what the creative destruction is. We have to go for creative destruction. We have to go for innovation. So what actually innovation was in the eyes of Joseph Schumpeter, this was actually an exclusive, almost exclusively the result of cyclical change. He says innovation is not something when we can say finally, yes, innovation has taken place. And this is the innovation. He says, no, innovation is a cyclical process, continuous process, which we have always keep working upon its betterment. Always we have to search for better solutions. Just like recall the mobile phones of the earlier stage in 2000, 1999, 1998. And mobile phone of nowadays, it is in fact a smartphone, which has actually replaced thousands of devices. Or a smartphone has replaced thousands of devices, has made thousands of devices obsolete. So if had we been contented with that kind of mobile phone, we would never have invented this kind of smartphone which we do have today. So that is what was the meaning of Joseph Schumpeter about innovation. One name, that is Steve Jobs. Everybody knows, he doesn't require any kind of introduction. He was CEO of Apple. Apple was his brainchild. So he says innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity, but not as a threat. Innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity. As we all know that change is only the permanent thing in the world, and Steve Jobs says innovation is key to that change. Every change takes place with the help of innovation. So now we can understand in technical terms what the innovation is. Innovation is specific tool of entrepreneurs. It is tool of entrepreneurs. The means by which they exploit change as an opportunity. See, you can just see the change as an opportunity with the help of innovation. Innovation is enabler of adopting the change. Innovation is the implementation or creation of something new that has realized value to others. It should be valued. And that is what may be the difference between invention and innovation. If an invention is useful for common people, for society, and really solving a problem, really commercializable, that becomes innovation. So this is what the innovation, we have to create something new or add some new feature to existing thing. It's not that we have to always invent a new kind of bulb. No, bulb is already there. We have to move from, old bulb to LCD, LED, whatsoever it is, LED, and then whatsoever it is, kind of generations keep on changing. So that is what it's not that all the time you have a breakthrough innovation. All the time you have absolutely new innovation, just like a mobile phone when first time came into existence. And after that, no innovation is in that mobile phone. It's not like that, my dear students. It is basically an iterative process. You have to keep innovating, innovating, innovating. And then only we could have get the present shape of a smartphone. And not much innovation is there in getting today's shape, today's smartphone. So that is, we have to understand in true sense what innovation is. There are several myths about innovation, just like innovation begins with creativity. No, it's actually not. Innovation actually begins with curiosity, not creativity. Like if you're not curious, you can't innovate. You all have seen that Apple, you have listened that Apple fell from the tree, and who was lying below the tree? Who will tell me? Then he said, why, he questioned why the apple fell down. Why didn't this apple go up? Who was that? Anyone, please? Who was that?
Newton.
Newton, gravity theory, right? So that there was nothing creativity there, but he was the first time curious about that. Maybe because this was not Newton was not the first man on this earth, and this incident was not first time at this planet. From the ages, fruits have been falling down, and each one of us has been watching it. But Newton became curious. Maybe some other might have become curious, but they might have not moved ahead. But this was the curiosity of Newton, which kept them not sleeping until and unless he gave the gravity theory. So innovation doesn't begin with the creativity, it actually begins with the curiosity. Another myth is innovation is a smooth linear process. I have already discussed that it is not linear process, it is a cyclical process, it is an iterative process. You keep on improving, improving, and improving. So this is in fact a series of experiments and testing, prototyping, designing, keep on doing, ideating, improving, keep on doing. And the third myth is innovation is about risk taking. Yes, it certainly involves certain amount of risk, but with the help of design thinking, we can really devise risk mitigation mechanism. We can really reduce risk. And that is where design thinking plays role. That is why we are nowadays talking about design thinking, design thinking, design thinking. Innovation, we have been talking for long. Like 1950 when Schumpeter died, he had worked a lot on innovation. Innovation is not new thing, but design thinking is new thing. Because we are trying to have risk mitigation mechanism while doing innovations. That is why. So these are the three myths and realities about innovation. Now, how innovation can open up the opportunities for entrepreneurship. How innovation is something which can be converted into products or solutions for problems in the society. Each one of whosoever tries to do entrepreneurship, tries to have a startup, if you ask a question, what kind of product you want, he would definitely say, my product would be, his product would be absolutely different from others. Even if a tea vendor is going to make tea near several other tea vendors, he would try to claim that his tea would be different. That is where entrepreneurship takes place. That is where startups get a scope for them. And that concept in marketing, in management is known as product differentiation. So basically, innovation leads product differentiation. You can make your product different from that of competitors with the help of innovation. And your product differentiation may be in design part, your product may be different. In characteristics part, your product may be different. In attributes part, your product may be different. And maybe your product is different in aesthetics. So you may try to make your product different in these respects. Your product may be superior in terms of characteristics. Your product may be very handy, having design just like a stethoscope. You have had a different design. You have had different characteristics, attributes, aesthetics. All four things were different. When you had a digital stethoscope BP monitor, from that one, in comparison to that of the conventional kind of stethoscope. So that is what gives you the scope. Your product may be superior in terms of design, characteristics, attributes, or aesthetics. What Schumpeter actually given you the 5 types of innovation, you can see, he said your innovation may be related to the product. When your product is different, your product is new, your product has new good qualities. So that will be called a product innovation. Rather than product innovation, you can have process innovation also, wherein you can have like different process, a new process of doing something, of maybe production, of maybe giving service. Like in saloon, you go for your haircut, you get a better chair, better automatic machines for your haircut, better that saloon wala gives you better virtual reality kind of experience. He can, before cutting your hair, he can show you how you would look like in this particular hair cutting. So that may be a kind of process innovation. So your innovation may be related to the product, then it is called product innovation. It may be related to the process, then it is called process innovation. It may be related to market also. Maybe opening up new market opportunities, new way of marketing, just like from brick and mortar market, we may move to the virtual market, online market, 24/7 market. So that is what market innovation is. We moved from physical market to the virtual market nowadays, and that has solved a lot many problems of us. That has opened up a lot many opportunities for every one of us. Then maybe innovation related to your inputs, maybe some components, some raw materials, some supplies kinds of things you may have cut down, may not require for a kind of product. You may have replaced one kind of raw material to another kind of raw material. Like earlier, you were making something from iron. Now you are making something from plastic or fiber. So that is kind of input innovation. And then lastly, the organizational innovation that gives you some kind of new practices, new things, new approaches in your organization or industry that may be called organizational innovation. Just like during COVID times, many organizations, especially of IT sector, has shut down their physical offices. And now the organizations has turned the virtual organizations nowadays. Maybe in the whole organization is running in just one room because it is running virtually. So during COVID times, lot much organization innovations took place, especially in IT industry. Many companies have shut down their physical offices in different cities, and now all the offices have converted into the virtual offices. Another kind of typology for innovation I would like to show you here, based on 2 dimensions. On one dimension market, on another dimension technology. Now 4 types of innovations you can see here based on the 2 dimensions: existing technology, new technology, existing market, new market. When market is existing and technology is existing, this is incremental innovation. If you are inventing something, just like for mobile phones, mobile phone market was existing, technology was existing, you were just making little bit tinkering and tweakings So for that innovation will be called incremental innovation. When technology is existing, but market is new, this will be called architectural innovation. With the existing technology, you are experimenting the same in the new for creating new market. That is architectural innovation. When technology is new and market is existing, in existing market, you are just launching a new technology. That means this is going to change the market. This is going to very adversely affect your competitors. Just like, earlier when those kind of, pages were there, and all of a sudden mobile phone came into existence. So that was absolutely that. Rather, I should put it into this radical innovation. That is example of pager is here. I think that would be better. Here, I would say that Nokia was having Windows phone and was not at all ready to give Android. But Android market came in, Android technology came into existence, but Nokia did not do that. Rest of others came with Android version. Android technology was a new technology in existing market. Mobile market was existing. So that Android was actually disruptive innovation. And pager was replaced by mobile phones. So that was a radical innovation. In mobile phones were actually radical innovation, and they replaced pager altogether. So these are the 4 types of innovations we can see here. There is a book. Please note down that book is 0 to 1. 0 to 1. Do you know who has written this book? 0 to 1. He talks about 2 kinds of innovations. Peter Thiel talks about 2 kinds of innovation. One, incremental innovation, another disruptive innovation. So when innovation is from 0 to 1, that is absolutely new. That is disruptive innovation. When it is 1 to n, like he's making this kind of, let me show you this kind of diagram. This kind of diagram. 0 is here, 0 to 1. And 1 to n. And 1 to n. So that is 0 to 1, 1 to n. So 1 to n is basically incremental innovation. 0 to 1 is disruptive innovation. So basically here also you can see incremental and descriptive. So 4 types of innovations I have discussed with you: incremental, disruptive, architectural, and radical innovation. So here we have to try to find out a sweet spot in the intersection of what is viable, what is feasible, and what is desirable. And then what solution comes into existence is innovation. And that is what we need to do in our incubation centers. That is what we need to try to incubate, which is possible, which is viable, and which is usable. Consumers may use it and benefit it. So that sweet spot, we all teachers and students have to work upon to find it out. That is what, and once we find out that sweet spot, a business model canvas is there. You can just go search it online. You can find out this kind of canvas. Earlier, this is replacement of business plan. Earlier, we were talking about business plan, but now we are talking about business model canvas. This is just simple 1-page canvas. In business plans, we did have so many pages, and we did have to write so much about that. But here we have just 1 page, 1 blank page. You could get it on website also, wherein after finding out the sweet innovation spot, you have to just prepare business model canvas. wherein you have to write down these 9 things: key partners, key activities, value propositions, customer relationships, customer segments, key resources, distribution channel, cost structure, and revenue structure. And thus our whole plan will be ready. And now we can put this business model canvas before some investors and discuss with them in brief. What Steve Jobs says, basically, just see this is wonderful quote. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. And you all know that Steve Jobs and his company is always a leader. Apple just doesn't compete with anyone. Rest of others even don't think to compete with Apple. Apple has scratched its market absolutely different. It has absolutely a different market segment, that is top or premium market segment. So that is what a quality of a leader is, a leader company is. So here you can see how innovation can help in differentiation, just like innovation can lead to differentiation of a product. Royal Enfield is a market leader. It is an absolutely different kind of product. Worldwide, you can see innovation has really offered greater value to the customer, greater value, product value. You have seen that ghadi, this detergent cake ghadi, that is from the city I belong to, that is from Kanpur initially. And this has really become the market leader in detergent cake, leaving behind Hindustan Unilever, leaving behind Nirma and all. This is a process innovation example that is from your South India only, Arvinda Eye Care System. It is world-renowned eye care system, which offers 99% of accuracy in cataract surgeries and all. So I'll be taking not much more time. I'm just going to finish it up very shortly. So here, Arvinda Eye Care is the wonderful, finest example of process innovation in medical sector. So since your institute is Pharmacy Institute, I would request all of your students to just watch some of the, hello? Am I audible or not?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay. So watch YouTube videos available of this Arvinda Eye Care System, how process innovation has benefited millions of people in India. And this has been taught as a case study worldwide, across world. Arvinda Eye Care System case study is being taught, and there may be 20, 30 case studies, management case studies available on this particular Arvinda Eye Care System. So this is wonderful process innovation example. So this is the startup unicorns page. Here you can see the startup unicorns of India. Innovation basically promotes entrepreneurship. And this is basically a tool of entrepreneurs to start entrepreneurship, to start startups. So if you can see these startups, most of them are having new kinds of concepts. Maybe most of them are IT-enabled startups, but not all of them. Many of them are process startups, marketing startups, So here, these have become unicorns. This is the picture of startup unicorns. For your kind information, let me tell you that in last year, in 2021, India has given startups at the rate of 3 startup unicorns every month. And that was the fastest kind of growth rate in the world of having startup unicorns. And startup unicorns means valuation of a startup $1 billion. $1 billion. So these startups have crossed the $1 billion valuation in very short span of time. So that is what the power of innovation is. most of them are really based on innovation and their innovative models. Just like, for example, Oyo. Oyo did not actually, Oyo's promoter Ritesh Agarwal did not actually own even a single room before, and just started a such a big kind of chain of hotels. This is the idea. Just like Uber, Ola did not own even a single cab, and they started such a big Ola or Uber kind of cab aggregator company. So that is something where we have to think how we can do this. There are so many in our own university, 2, 3, but in the paucity of time, I'm not going to discuss about them. But students are working on such a very wonderful ideas. So finally, innovation ensures the organizational success, sustainability, growth. That is what you can achieve if your organization is innovative. Just like here is the list of five most innovative companies in 2020. This is BCG, Boston Consulting Group's report. Says Apple, followed by Alphabet. Alphabet is mother company of Google, Amazon, then Microsoft, then Samsung. These are the first, second, third, fourth, fifth most innovative companies in 2020. Why I'm saying these companies are the innovation is guarantee of the growth, success, and sustainability. You can see here, these are the top 10 in 2018. Now, why I'm saying is the answer here. The top 10 global brand values, global brands in 2020. Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Samsung. Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Samsung. Now come back to the previous slide. Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Alphabet is Google, Samsung. Top 5 innovative companies in 2020, top 10 global brands in 2020, and here you find all those 5 companies at the top. That is why I'm saying innovation, continuous innovation is guarantee for growth, guarantee for success, guarantee for sustainability in today's time when everybody is talking about sustainability. So that is what from my side, that is all. Thank you very much. Now you can ask questions if any.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your elaborative session.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So I request participants, unmute yourself, and if you want to interact with the sir, you can interact, or if you want to ask any question, unmute yourself and ask questions to the sir.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ajay.
Sir, actually, you have already the book 0 to 1, and you have asked about the writer. Sir, what is the basically motive of this book? Can I know in brief? Because I was really interested to read about this book.
Yeah, 0 to 1 is a wonderful book. Let me show you. Written by Peter Thiel, who is also an investor, venture capitalist. This is a book, 0 to 1, and this is on entrepreneurship. Notes on startups, how to build the future. Peter Thiel. Thiel. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So I'll surely go through for this book.
Sure. Yeah.
Sir?
Yeah.
When we interact with the students, they will come out with so many ideas. And as you mentioned in your talk, so the ideas should be filtered.
Yes.
So can you give any tips to the students how they can filter the ideas and select an appropriate idea?
See, feasibility study you need to do, feasibility study. And I would say when feasibility study, that means financial feasibility, technical feasibility, market feasibility, right? So different kind of feasibility aspects are there, environmental feasibility, legal feasibility. So feasibility study is required to be done to filter the ideas.
One more question, sir. Can you tell about Atal Community Innovation Center?
Atal Community Innovation Center, that I'm not aware of.
Okay.
Atal Tinkering Lab I was talking about, this is being opened in various school level as well. Atal Tinkering Labs earlier were there in IITs, but now government is trying to establish this Atal Tinkering Lab in school level, college level as well. So I think you can search, and if you want to open it up in your institute, you can go ahead with that, Atal Tinkering Lab. Their 3D printing facility is being made available.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Principal, sir. Hello, Principal, sir.
Madam.
Can you talk about the session?
Okay, madam. So I'm on the outside. So first, I would like to thank the sir for giving a very innovative lecture, and so very good sharing about all the slides. So on behalf of our Vignan Pharmacy College, we are very thankful to you, sir, for sparing your valuable time with us. And
thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me opportunity.
And I request Principal, sir, to honor the Prabhat Dwivedi, sir, with the e-certificate. 1 minute, sir.
Yeah.
I will share the certificate.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir, you can present the certificate to sir.
Sir, certificate of honor. This certificate we are proudly presenting to Dr. Prabhat K. Dwivedi Garu for sharing his valuable knowledge as a speaker of workshop, design thinking, critical thinking and innovation design, organized by Institution Innovation Council of Vignan Pharmacy College on 5th March 2022. So I congratulate all the organizing committee members for this program to make this arranging to helpful for the students and the staff members. Thank you, sir. Once again, we are very thankful to you for sparing your valuable time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And finally, I want to conclude this session with a vote of thanks. Honorable Chairman, Dr. Lau Ratte Garu in absentia, respected Professor and Principal, Dr. P. Srinivas Babu Garu, Deans, Head of the Departments, and it's my privilege to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of management and teaching fraternity, extend a very heartfelt vote of thanks to all the speakers for gracing the occasion. And a big thank you to Dr. Prabhat K. Dwivedi Garu for your efforts towards rendering an exotic speech, which found more interesting, sir. Thank you very much. And I may like to express our sincere thanks to Institution Innovation Council team for providing encouragement in organizing such need of the hour session. And we are all inspired by your great words, sir. Thank you, sir, once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Now, can I leave, ma'am?
You can leave, sir. So I will furtherly contact you through WhatsApp, sir.
Sure, sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.